Hi everyone! This week we're creating 5 different paper bows using only one set of patterns. So the first thing you'll need to do is go to the link in the description of this video to get these free patterns that I've created. Then you'll need to print them and cut them all out. And we'll just be mixing and matching these patterns to create the 5 different bows. So this bow is the first one that we'll create. So you'll just need patterns 1 and 2 for this. Now this is really important. For all of these bows, you need to use really thin paper like scrapbook paper that's not cardstock. If it's heavier paper, it just won't work right. So you want to take that paper and turn it so the good side is facing down. And then we'll just be tracing around this pattern onto the paper. So I went ahead and did that, just traced around it with a pencil. And now I'm going to do the same thing with pattern 2. So we have both of these traced onto the paper, and now just go ahead and cut those out. So you're left with this, and they look like this on the other side. And now we can assemble the bow. So I'm going to take this pattern first, and we're just going to be curving this side around so this end piece goes in the middle. And just do this very carefully so it won't bend it or crease it. So it will just go just like that. And put some glue there, and I found that hot glue really works best for this because it needs to hold really fast. So go ahead and press that in place. Now I'm going to flip that around and just do the same thing with the other side, gently curving it in towards the center. Putting some hot glue in place, and then just gluing that together. So you should be left with this, and now you just need to decide which side you want to face up. So I decided I wanted this side to be up, so we're just going to be wrapping this around. But I'm going to start by gluing the end on the back side here. So just putting some glue on this upper half and then pressing that in place. Then wrapping that around. And if you have some extra length here, you can trim that off and then just put some glue here and glue that end in place. So once you're done with that, you should be left with this. And this bow design will be the basis for all the rest of the bows. And that's it for bow number 1. And now we're moving on to this style for bow number 2. For this bow, you'll need patterns 1, 2, and 3. And I'm using this paper, and I'm just going to flip that over so the good side is facing down once again. And then I'll trace all 3 of these patterns onto it with a pencil. So it looked like this, and then I'll go ahead and cut those out. So now I'm left with these pieces, and I'm going to start with this one first, just like we did with the first bow. Curve the sides around and into the center and glue them in place there. Repeat with the other side. Then we'll use that second piece to wrap around. I'm going to put glue up here, press that in place, wrap it around, and then glue it in place on the back. So it looks like this. Now we're just going to add this other piece here. So just make sure you get it centered and decide where you want to place it. And then I'm just going to put glue in kind of this triangular area right here. And then I'll just line that up, center it, and press it in place. And that's it for the second style of bow. Next up is bow number 3. For this bow, you'll need patterns 1, 2, and 4. I'll be using this paper, and as always, flipping it over so the good side is facing down. Then I traced around those 3 patterns and cut them out. So I'm left with this. And now we're just going to do the exact same process of putting together those first 2 patterns. So I will just fast forward through this since we're doing it the same way. So you'll be left with this, and now we're just going to attach this other piece. So just decide where you want to place it, make sure everything is centered. Then put some glue here on the back, or you can put it on the other piece if you'd like. And then just press that in place. And if you want this to be extra secure, we can add some glue here on the back. So I'm just adding some glue right there and pressing that in place, and I repeated that on the other side just to make it more secure, and that's it for bow number 3. Now we'll move on to bow number 4. For this one, you'll need patterns 1, 5, and 2. So I'll be tracing pattern 1 onto this paper, pattern 5 onto this paper, and then I cut those out, and then pattern 2 was out of that same pink paper. And now we're going to put together pattern 1 just like before, gluing those 2 sides in the center. So it looks like this. And then instead of adding pattern number 2 at this point, we're going to add pattern number 5. So this one's going to go together just like pattern 1, curving those sides around and gluing them in the center. So I repeated it on this side. So it looks like this. And now we're just going to attach these 2 together. So pattern 5 is going to go on top of pattern 1 and just glue in the center there. So just decide how you want to place it, and then put some glue on pattern 5 and glue it in place. Then you can just kind of make any adjustments you want to that. And now we're going to add pattern 2. So we're going to glue that on the back side, wrap it around, and then glue it again on the back. And that is it for bow number 4. Finally, we're on to the last bow, bow number 5. So for this one, you'll need the same patterns that we used on the last one, but we're just going to use them a little differently. So I cut patterns 1, 5, and 2 out of these papers. So instead of putting pattern 1 together like we did on the others, we're actually going to stack pattern 1 and pattern 5 like this. And then we're going to put some glue to attach them in the center. Now you can flip that over, and you can either curve both pieces around like this, put some glue in the center, and then glue each of the ends individually, like this. Or you can just put some glue here on the end so the 2 pieces are secured together, and then just bend those around carefully and then glue it in the center. So now just decide which side you'd like to face up, and then we're going to attach pattern number 2 on the back, wrap it around, trim this if you need to, and then glue that in place. And that's it for bow number 5. And really quickly, I just wanted to show you that with bows 4 and 5, you can also add either one of these patterns to these. So there's actually about 4 more possibilities for the bows you can make with these patterns. And that's it for this paper bow tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more paper crafts from my channel, I will put some on screen, and feel free to subscribe to see future videos. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.